Hey everyone, I want to take a moment to talk about something really important: mental health and addiction. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or drug addiction, especially if they're facing chronic relapses or have a history of bouncing in and out of treatment centers, I want to recommend Baja Rehab. Baja is a premier lockdown treatment center located just 45 minutes from the San Diego border in beautiful Mexico. I've had the opportunity to visit their facility, and I can tell you firsthand it's not only stunning, but also equipped with everything needed for recovery. They offer comprehensive medical detox and have a dedicated team of drug counselors and specialized therapists. If you are ready to take the first step towards healing, call Shalom, the intake director, at 619-855-6368. That's 619-855-6368. Your loved ones deserve a second chance, so don't wait until it's too late. Reach out to Baja Rehab today. Looking for your next new tattoo? Visit My Addiction Tattoo, where art meets passion. Our talented artists specialize in custom designs tailored just for you, ensuring each piece is as unique as your story. From your vibrant colors to intricate black and gray work, we bring your vision to life in a safe, welcoming environment. Plus, we prioritize hygiene and professionalism every step of the way. Book your consultation today and let's create something incredible together. Visit us on Instagram at My Addiction Tattoo or call 858-352-6416. That is 858-352-6416. Or stop by at the shop at 3742 Mission Boulevard, San Diego, California, 92109. Nobody reps fuck fentanyl like My Addiction Tattoo. This episode is brought to you by SD Sober Living. If you or someone you know needs a safe, supportive recovery home, then reach out to SD Sober Living at www.sdsoberliving.org or call 619-334-9869. That's 619-334-9869. Come get some fuck fentanyl and some San Diego recovery at SD Sober Living.
Yeah, I changed up. I'm a new me. Ain't no kind of money finna woo me. Smack you if I see you wearing Gucci. I've been doing good though. I know you ain't asking, you really wanna throw shade. I know all about that. I know all about you. Thought I couldn't bounce back, made it here without you. I've been on my Zen shit. Family is good, we investing in the crib now. I've been meditating all week. Lot of colors in the fridge now. I ain't finna argue with you niggas over dumb shit. I don't think I'm better, I'm just dealing with enough shit. If you want a favor, I'ma hit you on my own time. Where the fuck was you when I was running for the bus? I don't give a fuck if everybody think I'm Hollywood. I don't give a fuck if everybody think I'm Hollywood. If you talking about self-love, I could be
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Code of the Friend. Nice. I like that song.
Thank you.
I'm Luis Romero. I'm the Fuck Fentanyl guy. And this is the Fuck Fentanyl podcast. I have my friend Sabina on. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Yes. Oh, it's a bit early for me, but I'm so glad that we got to do this. I was curious. Where are you from, Sabrina?
Originally,
Yeah,
I'm
originally.
from New York, upstate New York.
Oh, for reals?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I say
You must
New York.
be loving it here now.
Oh yeah. I was just talking to my mom yesterday, and they got hit with snow.
Yeah,
like 10 inches of
they're
snow.
buried.
And it's like 2 degrees, wind chill, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God,
ain't not a
dude.
cloud in the sky over here, Ma. It's 70 degrees,
Yeah.
and
It's
I'm good.
barely a sweater weather.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing it. And I really don't need to.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. So you grew up there most of your life?
Yeah, born and raised in upstate. I'm not a city girl. Not a city girl at all.
Oh, really?
No, upstate.
Oh.
Like an hour and a half north from the city.
Oh. So it's like, so is upstate New York kind of more like rural, or just kind of like not, or
It's
like
like
suburbs, or what is it like?
Kind of like in between. lots of land. There's a lot of farm life,
Oh, shit.
mountains
Oh,
and
no
lakes
shit.
and waterfalls.
Oh, see, I don't think about that when I think of New
Yeah,
York.
nobody thinks about, you think of New York, you think of the city, but
Yeah.
there's a whole nother world
Yeah,
right
yeah,
out of
yeah.
the city.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So, was it kind of like a small town, like where you're at?
Yeah, I'd say I grew up in a small town.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, everybody knew everybody's
Everybody-
business.
yeah,
Everybody
ah,
talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
everybody. Everybody stays in the same place.
Dude, oh
You
my
know,
God.
you grow up and then you become a teacher and then you
Ah!
become a teacher at the school you went to.
Dude,
And then
oh,
your kids go to
no.
the same school. And
Oh my God, that sounds like a nightmare.
not the life I want to live.
No, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I lived in Campo for like 8 months, and
Where's that?
yeah, exactly. No, it's in San Diego technically. It's like in the east, like way eastern part, where it's like you're almost heading out to like Arizona
Okay.
on the 8. And yeah, it's exactly how you described it. Exactly, like like when I was there, I was in rehab there, but I pretty much like got so acquainted with all the locals there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my fucking God, this is what a small town is like. Like
Yeah.
everybody knows each other. And this
Yeah.
is really weird. I can't go anywhere without somebody. Well, I saw you there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I hated it. I hated it, dude. But
It's I didn't like it. I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere
Sure.
either.
Sure.
Like it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
heavily populated,
Mhm.
but small enough for everybody to know everybody.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I'm first generation born in America, so, so that made things
A little worse.
for me not to know like where I fit in. And
Where's your family from?
Moldova.
Moldova?
It's a small country right in between Romania and Ukraine.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so it's part of the Soviet Union, and then
Holy
the Soviet Union
fuck.
broke apart, and then
Oh,
Moldova
wow.
became its own
Its own
country.
nation.
Yeah, and then my family, my parents and my sister, and everybody kind of dispersed around the world. Most of my family, extended family, came to America,
Oh,
to New
okay.
York.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, that's so rad, though. I didn't know about this little country.
Not many people do.
Yeah.
Not many people
But Eastern
do.
Europe is so cool.
Yeah,
I always find it very interesting.
yeah.
But okay, so your parents did they speak English, or did
They learned.
They learned it.
You know, they learned how they learn to speak English.
how?
A lot of SpongeBob and Seinfeld.
I'm ready.
Yeah. A lot of classes, a lot of school, and a lot of cartoons and Seinfeld.
Wow, that's fucking
That
rad.
was their
Wow, dude, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, so at home I spoke Russian. At school it was English.
Oh, no shit.
Russian was more enforced with my sister. She's 7.5 years older than me. So it was like really enforced with my sister.
Yeah.
So she's 100% fluent through and through.
Mhm.
But for me, and this is something that I really hate to admit,
Yeah.
but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Like I want to say I'm fluent in Russian, but it's just not
No?
true. I understand more than I speak.
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah. Because you're just not used to it.
yeah, I mean, by the time my sister moved out, and you know, I was hitting middle school, and my parents were living their life, and I mean, it was just English, and my grandma moved out, so my grandma didn't know any English.
Yeah.
Well, she knew some English, just like associating with like the neighbors and whatever, but when she
Yeah.
moved out, like it wasn't super enforced in the house.
Right.
So I started to lose my speech.
Oh.
So I
see.
like my first 7 years of my life, that was ingrained in me.
I see.
And then it's just, I kind of
Yeah,
I lost the ability to communicate as well as I'd like to,
Right.
but I understand.
Let's see. Can you say anything in Russian right now?
Что ты хочешь, чтобы я сказала?
I don't know. What does that mean?
And so what do you want me to say?
That's so awesome. Oh wow. So did it kind of make you feel weird around your family?
Not really.
It's still like bond, you still
Yeah.
connect with them.
Yeah, you know, it got harder and more challenging the older I got.
Mhm.
And now like with my grandma, she's got dementia,
Oh, I
and
see.
she's like reverting backwards,
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like no English whatsoever. You know, she doesn't know where she is, and so it's like
yeah, right. She don't even know where the fuck she is.
It's
Let
just even.
alone-
It's like I don't know if she even knows she's in America. So
She thinks she's in the old country with the
Yeah.
Soviets.
it's really hard. So it's just like to talk with her for me is really challenging. It's like all I can say is like I love you and that I'm here, and thank God that we
Yeah.
have phones that I can call you.
Right.
And because she's always asking like, when are you gonna come visit me?
Yeah.
Because she knows sometimes who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's just like, when are you gonna come see me? And it's just like, I'm across the country.
Yeah. It doesn't. I
It's
can't
like she
just.
doesn't remember that.
No,
And
yeah,
it's just,
yeah.
it just breaks my heart
Right.
every single time I call her, because I'm not there.
Right. Right.
And she was such an integral part of my upbringing.
Mm.
So no, it was not weird at home.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird at school.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, because
School life.
I was raised in like a European household,
Uh-huh.
and
And
like
now you're in America.
and like going out of the house and into school, like you can see like who's an American.
Yeah.
And just like by the way that people walk and talk
Oh,
and take
okay.
care of themselves, like you can see like who was raised by what morals
Right.
and what values.
Right.
So it was difficult. Like, yeah, at home I felt like I didn't fit in sometimes because I'm the American. You know, everybody always told me
Sure,
that I
sure.
could be the president. You know, I was born in
Of
America.
course you could. Of course you could.
None of us could be the president of America, but you can. And then at school,
It's funny.
at school,
So
it was
funny.
like I felt like I didn't fit in because, you know, I've got a completely different household,
Yeah.
and I'm also Jewish.
I see.
And like I grew up in a really anti-Semitic town.
Was that right? Really?
Really anti-Semitic.
In New York?
Where in the small
Ah.
town that I was raised in, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I never thought.
yeah. Everybody hated the Jews over there.
Wow, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Were they like kind of like rednecks or some shit like that?
It was like half and half. I don't know. It was like it was like wannabe rednecks, and then you had the rednecks, and then
Are you a Jew?
yeah, it was yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, so like I felt like an outsider
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
and I never allowed myself to feel a part of.
Yeah.
And it's like I wanted that for myself. Like I wanted to be the outsider subconsciously so that I could be different.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I just never. I felt uncomfortable anywhere I was at.
Yeah.
But like I went to Hebrew school every Sunday.
Oh wow.
My parents moved here, you know, for religious freedom, so
Right.
kids can have a better life. They couldn't do anything over that. I mean, they were raised in the Soviet Union.
Oh yeah, yeah. It must have been fucking terrible.
The life that my parents had, you know, I'm really, really grateful.
Right. you dodged that
here.
bullet.
Yeah, and you know, my parents did the absolute best that they could. I had an
Yeah.
amazing childhood.
Right. Right.
You know, and yeah, they put me into like Hebrew school every Sunday, and
Okay.
I loved it there.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I belonged.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
I see. I can see why. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah, a sense of community
Yeah.
and like connection.
Right. Absolutely.
Which is like something that we need.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then it was the same thing with I did martial arts growing up too.
You did?
I did.
What?
Yeah.
What kind?
I did Taekwondo for 13 years, and then I did
What?
And then I did MMA for 4.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, wow.
I used to be a really, really shy, timid child. Like when my mom's paying at Walmart, like I was the kid like holding her hand behind her.
Oh my
Like,
god.
like I was super shy.
Oh my god.
And my parents like were like, we need to fix this.
Oh, let's make her fight.
And so like she's like she needs self-discipline, she needs to get out there,
Uh-huh.
she needs something,
Yeah.
right? And, like being Russian, I thought they were going to put me in gymnastics or
Sure,
something.
yeah. I was thinking literally like maybe about ballet.
Gymnastics,
What
ballet,
that
or
would have been
dance.
like? Yeah, or
Yeah,
something
no.
like
One
that.
day I was, I don't know, 5.5 or 6. My parents come home with like this like uniform, right? And my dad told me to put it on. It's a Taekwondo uniform with
Wow.
like white pants, the whole gi, and like
Holy shit.
it fits. And they're like, cool, you got a Taekwondo class at 5 o'clock. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But I really,
Yeah.
I grew to love it.
No way, really?
Yeah. I mean, that was my safe space too.
Yeah, shit. Or you can take out all that.
Yeah,
aches.
the mat was my safe space. I learned how to meditate. I
Yeah.
learned how to stretch.
Yeah.
I learned how to slow down. I learned how to ground myself and be patient. All the things that I forgot about later on in life.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
my
yeah.
foundation was always there, and I learned about that.
Mhm.
And yeah, so
Wow, that's so
that
crazy.
was my
Did-
safe space.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I tore my ACL when I was 18 or 19
Okay.
in MMA. And then I trained on it for another 5 months because I was really in denial about it.
Oh, for sure.
Because like nothing could take me away from the mat.
Yeah. Well, you're young too, so you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can still do it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And then I had surgery. I gave up on my life.
Oh shit.
I gave up.
Wow. Wow.
Being like super active
Mhm.
and
Right.
like taking like training 2 to 3 hours every single day,
Wow. Holy shit.
and then hiking and working out and running and just being super active to being immobilized was a really big mind fuck for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. That's a transition.
It was a really big mind fuck for me.
Wow. Were you like trying to like win tournaments and stuff like that too?
I competed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done Taekwondo tournaments. I competed in, so I used to train with Tiger Schulman's. I don't know if they have any schools out here on the West Coast, but it's really big in, over in the Northeast.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so I trained under UFC fighters.
Oh, fuck. Really?
Yeah,
Sick.
they make fighters. And,
Yeah. You were becoming a warrior.
I was on my way.
Yeah. Sick.
I was on my way. But man, no, I gave up.
Wow. Were you introduced to like prescription painkillers?
Yeah, but I didn't abuse them.
Oh, okay. I was just curious about that.
Yeah, I mean they put me on I don't even remember what they put me on. I mean, but I didn't abuse them.
Yeah. Just took them as prescribed.
Took them as prescribed, yeah, and I tried to sleep and like that was it.
Mhm.
I wasn't into drugs
Mm.
or alcohol.
Yeah. It seemed like you were more focused on being active. And,
Yeah. And trying to fit in.
Right.
I mean, like, I had my best friend growing up, my next door neighbor. She's 2 years older, and I always hung out with her.
Mhm.
And I would always go over her house, and like when she graduated, I always visit her at college, and get away from mom and dad.
Yeah.
and
Right.
even on like New Year's, even when she was living next door, get away from mom and dad. And 'cause, I mean, they were strict. My parents were strict.
Right. I
Right,
can see why.
rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
I mean, my sister and I were a hoot, but they had every right to protect their kids.
Oh shit.
But I would, go over my best friend's house and everybody was drinking and like it would take me like 4 hours to like finish what is this, like 6 ounces
Yeah.
or whatever, like
12, maybe.
10 or 12 ounce.
Oh, actually 16.
Or like like those cans, like
Yeah, yeah.
Coca-Cola, like a Coors Light.
Yeah.
Wow, like a Coors Light can.
Yeah.
It would take me like 3 hours just to finish that.
Oh, you're babying that thing.
Oh my god, I hated it.
Yeah.
But like vodka and like some pink
Oh,
lemonade.
I can't drink vodka anymore.
And like twisted teas.
Oh, now
Yeah.
I'm starting to be sick.
Yeah.
I had a really bad experience with vodka, and it like traumatized me forever.
What happened?
Dude, I was a fucking idiot. I was in high school, and I had never drank hard liquor ever. And I drank beers and stuff like that. I think I was like stealing alcohol from stores and just that was like we're like I was kind of like having fun with it. So I was like, fuck it, let's try liquor. And I hadn't ate anything in a whole day. Like literally, it was 24 hours, no food whatsoever, just drinking water, and I think some little snacks, but nothing like nothing really in my stomach at all. So I drank like, oh my god, how much was it? It was 6 or 8. I can't remember exactly, but double shots, like shot glasses that big. I drank those 6 to 8 of full of absolute vodka, and I was pretty fucking drunk. And then I decided to drink some beers after that, and then smoke some weed, and I was fucked, dude. And literally like I'm throwing up everywhere. I'm throwing up in my sleep. I had the worst hangover of my fucking life. I think I had maybe even alcohol poisoning. I don't know. I mean, I didn't die, so but it was just the worst feeling ever. And ever since I can't even smell vodka anymore. It just reminds me of that, like terrible.
That's how I am with Twisted Teas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've only blacked out once in my life.
And it was with Twisted Tea?
Just straight up Twisted Teas, and just like the thought of it is like.
It's I don't know if you remember that video where that motherfucker got a Twisted Tea and smashed it in that dude's face.
No,
you ever? Oh, dude, it's so funny. That's how I know about Twisted Teas. It was like I remember I was in quarantine and it was when COVID was this big ass fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then fucking one of the funniest videos I'm just bored and shit scrolling down Facebook. It was like this dude was like at a CVS and he's just trying to buy something and then this really obnoxious, and it's fucking hilarious because this guy's like super like, you could tell he's a douchebag and he's like super skinny, like white dude. He's just like getting in this dude's face. So come on, man, you want to fight? Let's do it. And this guy got his Twisted Tea in his hand and he just fucking smashes his face, and then Twisted Tea's all over the place, and he knocks his fool out with it. It's so awesome. It was like literally like it was like a promotion for the drink.
Oh my god!
Because everyone kept talking about it. It was so funny.
Yuck. Just yuck.
It was so funny. But yeah. So how old were you when you started drinking? Then like, was this after all the martial arts? And
it was I don't know, I probably had my first drink when I was 14. But it was like I milked that shit. I hated it. I was 14. I started smoking weed when I was 16. I came out to visit my sister out here in San Diego. She moved out here in 2010, and I came out here and smoked weed for the first time, and like absolutely felt like I tripped my balls off. But that made me think I was cool enough to want to get weed when I went back home, and I became the weed girl at home. And so like everybody smoking weed for the first time came to me. I curate the safe space. And
cool.
I create the ambiance for your first hit.
Okay.
I'll roll your blunts.
Wow, you're so nice. What a great host.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, I never smoked before I went to go train.
Oh, okay. So you were still pretty disciplined?
I was very disciplined.
That's so funny. I'm just imagining this, like you, like maybe like you competing and then like and being serious, like while you're doing it, and then you be at home like being kind of like a little hippie.
It was literally 2 different lives.
Yeah, like, it's so funny.
That's exactly it. Yeah. So I after I tore my ACL and just like I just like threw my hands up. I'm like, fuck everything.
Right.
Nothing matters.
Yeah.
Literally, like it was like in a whole identity crisis like my entire life, right?
Right.
And then like but like I knew I was a martial artist.
Oh, of course.
You know?
Yes.
That was my entire entity.
Yes.
And then I felt like I lost that, like the rug from underneath me was ripped
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
And I was just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Right.
What is my life? Who am I? And I just like didn't even want to figure it out.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was enrolled in community college, and like I guess everything makes sense now. Like why they call weed the gateway drug. I was like, fuck dare. Like that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Weed's fine.
Weed's fine.
Like you don't know because you've never smoked it.
Right.
And it's safe.
Right.
And it's not addictive.
It's propaganda, man.
But like it opened the doors for me to figure out what else is out there.
Yeah.
And,
Oh my God.
I'd smoke a blunt on my way to school.
Yeah.
I was in college at this point, and I'd park in the parking garage, finish my blunt, and then turn right back around and go home and just like roll up another blunt because I was out and just like not go to school.
Yeah. We don't need school anymore.
So I dropped out because it was getting in my way.
Yeah. School's really getting in the way of my getting high time.
It was getting in my way, and it's like I just could not sit and in a controlled space and have somebody spew information out at me, and then for me to just like remember what I needed to remember and just like put it on paper. Yeah. Like the whole schooling, it just like was not working for me where I was at that point. It just like was not it for me. No. So I dropped out.
Okay.
And but before I did, I was taking an art class, and I came out to visit my sister. I was working 2 jobs. I was going to school. I was kind of like managing life. Sure. And I came out to San Diego and went to my first music festival with my sister, right? And I tried Molly.
Oh,
I took ecstasy.
Oh, you're that girl now.
You did acid. Yeah. And then listen to this. I come back to school, right, in this art class, and like hand in my next art project. And the art teacher pulls me aside, and she goes, whatever you did this past weekend, do that again.
Oh.
Because I can really see how you've like surrendered to the flow.
Oh, you did surrender.
And you just like let go of your expectations and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
We've got different tools in the tools box now. I could do that.
You're so creative now.
Right? So different drugs became different tools in my toolbox.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And like life was still kind of manageable.
Yeah, right.
Right? I have not, there's people that start drinking and using,
and it's already off the gate.
It's already right off the bat they've crossed the line. Yeah. For me, it was a really slow progression.
Very slow progression.
Really slow progression, but like once I crossed that line, it was like
that's all it takes.
It was like really slow up to the line. Then like once I like stepped 1 foot over, I was like, okay, and then I just sprinted.
Shit. I like to compare it to being like a dam. You know what I mean?
And then once you release it, all that water. Yeah. Once a cucumber turns into a pickle, you can't really revert it back.
No, motherfucker.
Yeah, a pickle cannot be a cucumber again.
Oh, shit.
So it was manageable, and so I've always wanted to move out to San Diego.
Okay.
And ever since I was, 15 or 16, I was like, San Diego's the end goal.
I
want to be by the beach. I want to be outside all the time.
Right.
I want to pursue holistic health. I want to be close to my sister. Yeah. Like don't want to be cold all the time and be stuck in the snow.
Right. I can see that. Yeah.
I wanted to be here. Mm-hmm. And I always made these plans, right? Mm-hmm. I worked at Nike. I was like looking up Nike stores out here I could transfer to. Oh, so that I can have a job lined up.
Right.
Or like I can finish school and then like I can transfer my credits and go to SDSU. I toured SDSU. I toured UC USD. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I toured all the schools out here every single time, and it's just like making up all these plans, but I
Yeah.
can never follow through with my plans.
Right. It's a commitment.
Yeah. I could never commit to anything. And so it was just like one job after another, and so I landed a job at a place called Rag and Bone.
Rag and Bone?
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's a denim company.
Oh, really? Denim?
Denim, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And
I fuck with denim.
and honestly, it's one of the best jobs I ever worked because
Really?
because of the people that I worked with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was just a family. There was like, I don't know, maybe 10 of us,
Uh-huh.
and it was one of those jobs where like you could just, the clothes sold itself. You didn't have a sales goal, and it was retail, and so you didn't have a sales goal. You just like you just had to be there, and it was just like hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
You were just like hanging out with the people.
Yeah. Now I know exactly what you're talking about.
And so like we all liked, the people that I worked with, we all liked the same stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
But like we all liked the same drugs too.
Oh, well, that happens too.
Yeah, and so like lo and behold, we start popping half a pill at the beginning of the shift. And then we'll pop like the second half right like at a retail store. Like to me that was normal.
That sounds like a fun fucking place.
To me that was normal.
Yeah.
I could connect more with clients.
Right.
And, you know, to me that was still manageable.
Okay.
Right? Pretty delusional thinking. I was popping a pill like every 20 minutes. Like rolling face in the middle of my shift at a clothing store.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had this whole like 6-month plan to move out to San Diego. I booked myself back-to-back jobs. It was Black Friday weekend.
Oh shit, yeah.
You know, the mall that I worked with, it was open from Wednesday to Sunday.
Oh, really?
And so I booked myself back-to-back shifts. You know, I start at one, and then I do the overnight at the other. And then I open at the next one.
No shit.
Right? And it's like, how the fuck am I going to do 4 days? How the fuck am I going to do 5 days? Cocaine.
Oh, excellent solution.
Right? Different tools in the toolbox.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little pick-me-up.
Yeah. And so I had, I don't know, I think I had like a bag of like 5 grams of cocaine, and like
just a little.
I put like half a gram aside to sell it.
I see. You're an entrepreneur as well.
Oh yeah. Make a quick $40.
Yeah.
To go get some weed.
Such a profit.
Oh man. And my first shift, I was like, I've got this bag in my bag. And my first shift, you know, I had breakfast, I was well rested, and whatever, and like 10 minutes into my first shift on this marathon weekend of work, I go and do a line, and then that first shift, the first day, I was in the bathroom doing lines more than I was working on the floor.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Yacked out of my mind.
A great first impression.
You know, like, it was, cocaine is what drove me over the edge. You know, I felt powerful and sexy and on top of the world, and nothing could bring me down.
Yeah, you're a queen.
That was my shit. That was my shit.
Yeah.
And so that's what drove me to the other side. Yeah, that weekend I should have like seen it back then. Like that was kind of a problem.
A little bit. It was a little problem.
Yeah, it was kind of a problem. And then like a month later, my car got totaled.
Okay.
And then 2 months later, I come out. I mean, I was nowhere near financially ready, mentally ready.
Right.
I didn't have a car anymore.
Fuck.
I was waiting for my settlement.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm like, fuck it. I'm moving to San Diego.
Wow.
I was already starting to lose my shit and like act like an addict.
Yeah, a little bit.
And my parents had kicked me out
I see.
a couple times.
I see.
And because, I was just disrespectful. I wasn't cleaning. I wasn't taking care of anything. And it's like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? Mom,
right,
Dad.
right. Come on, guys.
It's like, go be with your friends that you're hanging out with.
Yeah.
If you think that that's better, go.
Right.
Because you can't do any of that here.
Right.
Like my parents, I'm grateful for the tough love that they gave me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I came back crawling on my knees, saying that I'm going to change and whatever.
Yeah,
And it's like, I don't.
No.
And it's like, okay, well, fuck it, Olga. I'm ready to move out to San Diego.
Oh, okay. Things will be different.
Yeah. And so, it was, my sister was also going through a really, really hard time.
Yeah.
Really hard time. And so I was like, I'm going to be her savior.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to make it about me.
You're totally in the position to do that.
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's like, she needs me.
Absolutely.
She has nobody. She needs me. She's her sister.
Yeah.
So she flew out, and then we packed up a rental car, and then we drove across the country.
Fuck,
This week I'm actually celebrating 5 years in San Diego.
What?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. A lot of people come out here to get sober and to get clean.
Right. Usually.
Yeah, I came out here to get fucked up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I drove. Well, my sister drove. Right, we drove right into my addiction. Like,
oh fuck.
it took us 46 hours to get here across the country by
No
car.
shit.
Everyone's like, "Oh my god, did you stop here? Did you stop
No.
in Texas? Did it take you a week?" I'm like, "It took us like 46 and a half hours. Beat the world record of 2 days.
Dude, sick.
Different tools in the toolbox.
A little help, a little pick me up here.
The only time we would stop would be to like fill up gas and fill up a bullet. And
oh my god.
When I moved out here, it was like 2 months of freedom, and then COVID hit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because 2020.
Yeah.
No, that must have sucked.
What a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it took me. I lived with her for 4.5 months, almost 5 months, until she kicked me out. And
Wow.
God bless my sister. The amount of shit that I put her through, and how I treated my sister. I feel like it's the people that we love the most
that we hurt.
We hurt the worst.
Right.
And I was just not me.
Right.
Not me.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't partying for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It was I cannot sit in my own skin anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot be in my head anymore. I cannot be me anymore.
Right.
And so it was whatever I can get up my nose, whatever I can get in my body,
right,
whatever I can get inside of me,
right,
for me to not be in me.
Right.
I'm going to do it. Whether it be sex, drugs, work,
right,
anything.
Right.
It took her 4.5 months to kick me out.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying rent. I was stealing her extracurriculars.
Oh my god.
And and she had cameras in her house. they were originally they were for like the dogs, to see what the dogs do when they're not home.
They didn't go about you.
And then it turned into like, what are the people doing in the home when she's not home?
Right.
And so it's like when she would show me like, what are you doing here? I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah, totally. I don't know what you're talking about. That's
I don't know. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, really that's not me. That's not me.
And so she kicked me out. It was like a day or two before my 21st birthday.
Oh fuck.
And it was COVID, like we were on
Yeah,
lockdown.
lockdown. Yeah.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
remember.
cops are pulling you over if you don't
Yeah.
have your card, if you're not an essential worker.
Right.
You know?
I remember that, dude. That was crazy.
Lockdown.
The freeways were empty.
Yeah.
Like that. I remember all that. That was so wild.
Yeah. It was bad. But in that time of like, I'm like, well, how am I gonna pay rent?
Yeah.
Right. So I became an essential worker. You know, we
cool.
had a car. You know, I door dashed. I did
Oh.
Instacart,
Oh,
and I got
cool.
a job at Sprouts.
Yeah.
And it was great because we had to wear masks. So you can't see how hard I was grinding my teeth.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god, I was so grateful for the damn mask
Oh, yeah.
because you couldn't tell how fucked up I was.
You can still wear masks too. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah,
still
for
somewhat like.
sure. And I did for a long time after you didn't have to.
You didn't even have to anymore.
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah.
So awesome. Oh my god.
So I met this guy at,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I met a guy at
gentleman?
Sprouts. I wouldn't even call him a gentleman.
Oh no.
Yeah, I thought he was. I was on like day 2 of no sleep. You know, all of my senses are heightened. I'm coming down for a roll. I'm coming down from a roll.
Yeah,
I'm getting ready to go do a line in the bathroom, and I'm like late for my shift, and I like go drop my stuff off in the kitchen in like the break room. Like all my senses are heightened, and I walk in there, and I'm like, "What is that smell? What is that smell? Because it smells so good."
Yeah.
And it's this guy just eating chicken and rice. That wasn't even like seasoned well. I ended up dating this guy.
Oh, you were so impressed.
I was so in love. Oh my god. Yeah, and you know, and we bonded right away with like abandonment issues.
Oh, well, that's
and like all this trauma.
Yeah, trauma buddies.
Oh my god, yeah. And I'm like, I want you to make me that chicken. So when my sister kicked me out, I moved in with him.
Yeah.
Turns out he was the greatest manipulator, psychopath that has ever.
A narcissist?
Oh my god, to the T.
Oh no.
Yeah, but so was I.
Oh, takes 2 to tango.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What a fun-filled relationship of even more trauma and abuse and using and oh man, I moved in with him when my sister kicked me out.
Yeah.
And then we were homeless within a month.
Fuck. Hell yes.
You know, I come into people's lives like a freaking tornado.
Yeah.
And my dealer had cut me off.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
If you want it, you're gonna go find it.
Ooh.
You know?
That is true.
If you want something, you are going to go find it no matter what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a freaking cocaine, man. That was like, I always say like cocaine is like my first love.
Yeah.
And so I went to go find a new dealer.
Uh-huh.
And so I started doing drugs behind the boyfriend's back.
Okay.
And so when he found out, it's like, why aren't you sharing?
Yeah. That's his concern.
He wasn't upset that I was doing it.
No.
He was upset that I wasn't sharing.
Yeah. How selfish of you.
And I just couldn't fathom sharing my drugs with anybody.
Right.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Come on. Get your own.
Yeah. And so you know, I'd get a bag for us to share.
Yeah.
And I'd have my own bag.
Okay.
It was always like I always had something for me.
Right.
It was all like I always needed my own.
Mm-hmm.
I would take yours and I would have my own.
Right. Absolutely.
And I mean, it was like that. I mean, we were homeless. We lived in the car. We would break up. We would get back together. I would forget that I had a boyfriend, and I'd go sleep with another guy. And we would.
That happens.
Yeah, we would break up, and then I wouldn't know where to go because you know my sister wasn't talking to me, and I didn't have any other family out here. I didn't really have much friends, but the drugs, the boyfriend. You know, I didn't have anything.
Right.
And you go out somewhere, you meet somebody, and I would fuck someone just so I could sleep in a bed that night.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I live my life.
Yeah. Survival.
Straight up survival. I want to sleep in a bed. Let's go find a bed to sleep in.
Right.
And it's like I've slept on the beach, and I would walk up and down alleyways in OB, and I would find a couch. It was like the gold mine. Oh my God! I'd find a couch in the alleyway. That was my bed for the night.
Yeah. Right. Hell yeah.
And it was just like this endless cycle of dealer would cut me off, find a new one. Dealer would cut me off, find a new one, find a new alley, find a new man.
Right.
And it was like all this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I was able to like get my life together for a little bit. I'd make up with my sister, and then, and then she kicked me out again.
Oh.
I'd be able to like get my life together just for like a little bit.
Right.
And then, as soon as I put something up my nose, that's it. That's it. I get taken over by a demon.
Yeah.
Like I am not me.
Right.
And when I moved out here, and I was house sitting for my sister because she went away to like Hawaii, and like I was just I was taking care of the dogs, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And I found a really big stash of blow, and I was just chipping away and chipping away and chipping away.
Yeah.
And and then I found like all the empty baggies, and I would shake it out and I would lick it, and then like I had to.
I did all that too.
And then I would lick it again, thinking there's like
there's more. I missed one. I did.
I know in the little crevice or something. That I know in the corner.
The little corner. Then you kind of like rip off the corner.
Yeah, like are there any specks on the floor that I missed?
Carpet surface?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. And so like I had a little sliver of a moment where I was like, I don't know if this is normal. Like, do people do this? Like, do I have a problem?
Maybe.
It was just like a fleeting thought. Like maybe I have a problem, but like I don't really want to stop.
Right.
So and my sister was like, you got a fucking problem.
Uh-oh.
Like, do you need to go to rehab?
Oh, no.
No.
Nah.
Like, I don't have a problem. And it's like and I've had my best friend that I grew up with in New York. She was still in New York. She would call me and like check in on me.
Yeah.
And it's like she's offered to like fly me back to New York.
Wow, no shit.
And like help me get my shit together and like move back when I like save my money and move back when I'm ready for it.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't have a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And I had that conversation with her while I was sleeping on the beach. And I've had like multiple people come tell me that like I need fucking help.
Yeah.
And that like I'm out of control.
Right.
But for the longest time, like I knew I had a problem, but I didn't think I was an addict.
Oh.
Like those were two separate things for me.
Absolutely.
I wasn't, like I didn't use needles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're not a fucking junkie.
I wasn't smoking crack.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing heroin.
Yeah.
I've never gotten a DUI. I've never been arrested. Mm-hmm. I've gotten my license revoked.
Oh.
But like not even unpaid tickets.
Yeah.
And like I would drive without my license and I'd get pulled over and like the cop would just let me go. Like I should be in jail. I should be in jail or dead.
Right.
But I'm not. So like I don't have an issue with the God concept because there is something looking out for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've never gotten a DUI. I have a lot of yets.
Yeah, right.
I have a lot of yets.
Right. So that made it a little harder for you to
actually accept that I am not living a life worth sustaining. And I wasn't even living a life. Like I was surviving.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So lo and behold, I get a job at Pizza Port.
Oh, really?
In OB.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. It's a bomb pizza.
Yeah. And, they make their own beer and...
They do. Yeah, I do remember that.
They sure do. But I hate beer.
I know. Beer's ass. else.
I'll drink cider and I'll drink wine and vodka.
Okay.
I hated beer.
Mm.
And they would always offer shots of beer, like what's new on tap and whatever. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't like beer.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. And they're
Right.
like, well, you just haven't found the kind of beer that you like
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
everybody likes beer and there's different kinds of
Yeah.
beer. I'm like,
That's totally accurate.
I'm like, okay, well, let's figure it out.
yeah. Figure it out.
Like I didn't have to say that.
No, absolutely not. You could have just said, nah, no thanks.
Yeah. But like I've already crossed the line, so like why not?
Yeah. You're committed.
Let's figure it out. And so like every single shift I'd come in and I'd try something new.
Yeah.
And I figured out that I'm a sour girl and I love
Oh.
I figured out what kind of beer I like.
Wow.
And so it was really easy to drink alcoholically at work. And everybody was on blow at work and everybody was getting fucked up at work. As long as you can still make your pizza and toss a salad, you're fine.
Welcome to the restaurant industry.
Yeah. Oh man, I had an apartment in OB with a crazy roommate and I put myself into a lot of situations for me to get sexually assaulted just to get a bag. I've gotten into situations where I'm just like not. I mean, that was the biggest thing for me. I'd get promised. I'd get promised a bag or I get promised a bump, and I would just degrade myself.
Yeah.
Just to get something, just because somebody had cut me off or somebody didn't want to give me something. I would degrade myself. I had no ounce of self-respect, no ounce of self-worth.
Yeah.
I put myself in front of dangerous people.
Yeah.
Just to get something in me, just because I needed it.
Yeah.
And SpongeBob when he's in like freaking
Oh.
when he needs water,
You guys didn't
he's
say
like,
him.
oh, literally
The water.
me.
The water.
Me.
Yeah.
So I stopped working at Pizza Port because I had injured my knee again.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, how the fuck am I going to make money now? I got rent to pay.
Yeah.
SugarDaddy.com was my answer.
Oh, wow, what a great solution.
Right? It was just easy money. It was just easy money. And I found people that were going to pay me.
Oh, wow.
1, to have sex. 2, to do drugs with them. It was like the things that I loved the most.
Wow.
And I would get paid for it.
Wow, thank God for SugarDaddy.com.
Like it was. I mean, at this point, I had found a group of girlfriends, a group of alcoholic girlfriends that drank as bad as I did my drugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so like
fun girls.
Hanging out with them made me feel like I wasn't so bad.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. People do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, well, you're not.
Nah,
I'm not
I'm
I'm not as bad as you. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But when I didn't have my blow, like I resorted to alcohol.
Yeah.
I needed to change how I was feeling.
Yeah.
I was just always like crawling out of my skin.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable with just me.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't just sit at all.
Yeah.
And I resorted to alcohol.
Oh shit.
I found, the sour, and then I found the red wines that I
Yeah.
liked.
Okay.
And it's like, in the big book, it says, like, we don't drink alcohol because we necessarily like it. We drink it because we like the effect.
The effects, yeah.
And that was it for me. Like, I'd gag every single time I took a sip of warm vodka. Like, why can't you at least put it in the freezer? Like, I gagged every single time, but I would just, it was like compulsive.
Right.
To put something into my body.
Yeah, you just needed something.
I needed something.
Yeah.
I absolutely, just even thinking about it, like, I hated it.
Yeah.
I,
Me too.
I hated to drink
Yeah.
because I couldn't. Ugh,
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck.
ugh.
Yeah.
And so like I mean I went through so many dealers where like I'd drive an hour or wait in a parking lot for 3 more hours just to get a bag, and dealer after dealer after dealer getting cut off and whatever. I asked this girlfriend because like I haven't had cocaine in like a couple weeks.
Right.
I
Yeah.
was like, I asked them, I was like, who has blow? I'm like, who's got blow in OB?
Yeah.
How much is a bag? And I'm like, who do you know?
Right.
Like, where's the blow at?
Yeah.
Because like the alcohol is just not doing it for me. I'm a stimulant person.
Yeah, I can tell. I've been getting that vibe a lot.
Like I've always wanted more of this.
Right.
Like this and then some.
Right.
And so they were like, "Oh, honey, we don't pay for our drugs here."
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, "Do tell."
Yeah, right.
And they like named off like a couple people where they could get their drug for free.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, "This is great."
Okay, well, link me up with these individuals.
This is great. And so like I became best friends with these people. And so one of them was this man that was triple my age.
Oh no.
And he did just as much as I wanted to. And he was filthy rich.
Oh no.
And so his door, he lived a block away from me.
Oh fuck.
Literally
That's
a block
funny.
literally a block away from me. And
Wow.
so his door was always open. Physically open.
Wow, holy shit. You just
Physically
walk right
open
in.
for you to walk in and take whatever you want.
What?
His fridge was always stacked with
God damn.
alcohol, with
Wow.
food. His freezer always
Wow.
had tequila and vodka and
What?
different shit. And he always had he had a bowl.
Yeah.
First time I met him, he was sitting on the couch and he had a bowl
Yeah.
with cocaine.
Uh-huh.
He's like smashing it with a spoon or whatever.
Like a bowl of cereal.
Yeah. And he had a straw in there.
Oh my god.
And I walk in, I'm like, "Hey, I'm Sabina, but you can call me Bean, like Vanilla Bean." Nobody called me Sabina.
Wow.
Everybody called me Bean,
Wow.
like Vanilla Bean. Like I swear, when I say I was like possessed by a demon, like I didn't even go by my name.
Don't call me my real name.
Yeah, like you can know it, but don't have to, just don't call me it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was classy. He like hands me the
Oh,
bowl.
sure,
He
sure.
hands me the bowl with the straw, and I'm like, these chunks are too big.
Wow. Really?
It's gonna cut my nose. And so I'm like, get ready to have your mind fucked. And so I run home and I come back. I had a little kit with me all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had my straw, I had a card,
Yeah.
it had a chapstick,
Yeah.
and it had, like those tea. When you want to like strain some tea, but it's like a little sifter.
Yeah.
So I'd put the blow in there and I would just like sift it so it's powder. And you got no rocks going up your nose. So it's just like smooth and it doesn't cut.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It was great.
Good MacGyver shit you got going on.
Very creative. I was classy.
Absolutely, you were. A classy bean.
Yeah. Oh man. And so I would just sit there and I would sift and I would sift and I would sift like ounce after ounce after ounce until we had like a mountain of cocaine on his desk. And so
Wow.
I mean that was it. I was there 90% of the time.
I believe it.
Like he paid my rent for the apartment I wasn't even living in
Wow.
because I was there all the time.
God damn.
He paid for my phone bill. He paid for the food that I wanted to eat when I wanted to eat.
Son. This fucking Keith Richards, man? What the fuck?
It was an addict's paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. I mean, we'd be up for days and days, and like be asleep for 2 hours, and then wake up, do a line, and do more. And then it was just like I couldn't do the dishes without a line. I couldn't call my parents without a line. I couldn't call my grandma without a line. I couldn't walk outside without a line. There were moments where I would be outside and be like, I can't even be in public
Right.
I cannot be in public right now. I should not be in public right now.
Don't look at me.
You know, it was bad. And you know, like if I wanted it, he'd get it for me. Ketamine, mushrooms, acid. I mean, we would just mix everything. And then like my last 6 months, I mean, I was drinking like alcoholically like the girls did when I first met them. And man, I got a letter on my apartment door.
Yeah.
That it was like they were going to be renovating the place.
Oh, okay.
So we had to move out within 60 days.
Okay.
And if we weren't going to move out, you know, they'll evict us.
Yeah.
But really what I think happened was that my roommate got enough complaints that they finally had a reason to kick us out. Or maybe I got complaints.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. The ex-boyfriend would show up at
Oh, no shit. At the spot.
this freaking psychotic he would show up and wreak havoc, and
Yeah.
but also I would allow it to happen.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And I would take him back. And, you know, I can't live without you.
Oh, for sure.
And, no, but
Soulmates.
you're crazy.
Yeah. No, not no more.
Yeah, it's been it's at this point almost 4 years of just
Insanity.
insanity. Like
Yeah.
even with him, just like in my mind now, it's
Yeah.
just still insanity. Like I need a 12-step program just for him.
You know, people do that.
I know. Yeah, we got Coda, we got Slaw.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. So moving, I wasn't working, you know, like this guy was paying for everything.
Yeah.
So I moved in with him.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm spending all my time there anyways.
Right.
So I was ready to marry this guy.
Yeah. Sounds
Straight
like
up. Like I gave up any hope.
Yeah.
I gave up any hope of going back to school.
Yeah.
I gave up any hope of ever going outside. I gave up any hope of like rollerblading or like seeing anybody else or making friends. You know, like my life was sift the drugs, cut the line, put it in my body. I go to sleep when my body literally cannot be standing anymore on its own. You know?
Yeah.
You know,
Sit down.
I eat when we're waiting for the dealer to come because we're out of drugs.
Yeah.
You know, like I was thinner than a fingernail.
Oh shit.
My nose was like 3 times the size of it is right now. I got a deviated septum.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like I have one nostril.
Yeah.
Like my
For
hand.
life.
I've had a collapsed lung a few times. Yeah, because of like the force that I would inhale and then like blow out because my nose would get so clogged.
Right.
Like I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Did that stop me? No.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm just like, that was my life. And at the same time, like I'd go out and like the insane part to me is that I would still go out and find the drugs elsewhere.
Oh.
As if I didn't have enough. I'd still act as if I was homeless.
Oh, really?
And not like homeless, but like the behaviors I had when I was homeless. You know, I'd go like find a guy that had the drugs, that had the apartment.
Oh, is it?
And then like go do the drugs and go to sleep.
Even though you absolutely didn't have to do any of that.
I didn't have to do any of that. I would still go and do it.
Wow.
And
that kind of reminds me when people would have like a lot of money and they'll still like do like petty thefts.
Yeah.
Just because
they can.
Just because they can.
Yeah. And yeah, it was I mean, to me, that's just no self-worth at all.
Absolutely.
No self-respect. I didn't care about me, you know? And sugar daddy over here,
Yeah.
you know, he knew the past.
I'm like, her?
Oh man, the sugar daddy.
Yeah.
He knew the passcode to my phone the entire time we were together.
Oh, sure. I'm pretty sure he would.
And he never went through it. And then like
One day he did.
One day he did.
Oh.
And so one day the truth comes out.
Oh.
You know, and he finds all of these conversations with all of these other men, and all of these pictures
I see.
and videos
Yeah.
and phone calls and contacts and
Was he under the impression that you were exclusively to him?
yeah.
Oh, see. That would be a problem then.
Oh yeah. You know, like I was his girlfriend.
I see.
I was his girlfriend, but he wasn't my boyfriend.
It'd be like that.
You know, like he was my facilitator for he was funding my life. You know, like and I would do anything just to make sure that I had that security. Like he was my security blanket.
Uh-huh.
And so like he finds out and he's like wreaking havoc and yelling and whatever, and so I'm like on my knees, I'm like, I'll suck your dick, I'll cut your lines,
Right.
I'll do a line off your dick, and you know, like, you know, just like
the promises.
just like pleading, just like have him not kick me out, and
Yeah.
he did. And you know, and I call my sister, and she picks me up, and it was the first night of Hanukkah.
Oh shit.
And I didn't. You know how hard it was to find a menorah? Extremely hard. I couldn't find a menorah, but I had a bunch of wine bottles.
Oh.
Right. And so I made a menorah out of wine bottles.
Oh hell yeah. Empty wine bottles.
Yeah, with like the long candlestick.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was my menorah, and we lit one candle, and like everything blew up on the first night.
Uh-huh.
So I call my sister, and she picks me up, and so I spent the night with my sister. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I start filling out like CalFresh,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I start looking up homeless shelters. Like I've never looked up homeless shelters before, so like, something in me was already starting to change.
Right.
And but like we're still doing drugs.
Yeah.
Like, and I need it. And so like there was something like happening inside of me where just like something wasn't working and something was starting to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we go outside and take a breather on the beach. We lived on the bay, and I just sit there and I just start breaking down. I'm like, I think I have a problem.
I see.
And like for the first time in my life, after all the denial, after all the rejection of help, you know, I was like, I think I need to go to rehab or something. You know, I ran out of ideas.
Right.
I didn't have anyone else to call.
Right.
I something in me knew that I couldn't stay with that guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Something in me knew that I couldn't call the ex-boyfriend anymore.
Right.
Something in me knew that I couldn't even stay with my sister anymore. You know, we used to do drugs heavily together.
Uh-oh.
A lot.
A lot.
And we would egg each other on about it too. Like,
yeah, of course.
you know, like we would like race to do our lines.
I love that.
So like, it's like something in me knew that I couldn't even stay with her.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I gave up. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm literally at a loss. And like, it was like a whole 4-day meltdown of like sugar daddy trying to hit me up. He literally, this cracks me up every single time I think about it.
Why?
He nailed the door shut. So like my key to the place, like I can like unlock it, but I can't
open it. Right.
He had a deadbolt. He could have just like locked both off. You know, like
That's not necessary.
He fucking literally, like, with his drill, like drilled nails and screws to, like, board up his door.
So fucking dramatic.
So it's like, if he wants to get out, like, he has to undo all of... I'm like, okay,
yeah.
whatever. Anyways.
Not the smartest man.
Whatever. You know, like,
dramatic. I love it.
He started throwing all of my shit out, telling me that I need to move out and all this stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, I need to get a storage unit, and I couldn't, my brain was so fried. Mm-hmm. Like, my sister was thinking for me. I couldn't walk. Like, I was walking like an old grandma, like
from athlete to this.
Yeah, I literally could, my feet were so swollen because of, like, the malnutrition that I had, lack of water, lack of blood flow. You know, like, when I first started doing cocaine, like, I was kind of productive. Right. You know, so I thought it was a good tool. Yes. I could get shit done. Right. But, like, I would do a line just to, like, get up from being horizontal.
Just to move a little. Oh, okay.
I'm like, I need it. Yeah. And then I would need to do another line. I would need to do a line for the line.
Yeah. I can't do the line.
Yeah. And I would need to have him feed it to me. And just, you know, like, my hands were super swollen. Right. Like, I couldn't. Yeah. I mean, I was just a shell of a person. Yeah. And I just couldn't figure it out, and so he finally let me back in to get my stuff. He got me like a U-Haul to get my shit. Yeah. My sister's looking up rehabs. Yeah. Because I'm like, I literally don't know where to stay, and I don't want to sleep on the beach anymore. Right. Like, something needs to change. I don't know where to go, and I was beating myself up going to rehab at 23, and I was just like, oh no, right. You know, like, I always said I wasn't going to be that person, and here I am. I'm fucking 23 years old checking into rehab. Like, what the fuck did I do, and how did I get here? Right. You know? Yeah. And so, like, I get to his place, and he's, like, trying to come at me and yap, and I'm like, I'm going to rehab. Okay. I don't know what rehab I'm going to yet, but I know that I can't stay here. I know something needs to change. I can't do this anymore. Mm-hmm. He was like, oh, well, I'll just stop buying drugs and we can just get sober here together. Oh, really? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're not hearing me. Like, I cannot be here. Yeah. And he's like, okay. And he's been to rehab twice before.
Oh, my God.
And clearly he doesn't want to change. Yeah. And so he called up an old buddy. I don't know if it was his old sponsor or whatever. Yeah, right. He called the only person that he knew sober, that he knew that was clean. Yeah. I didn't know a goddamn soul that was clean.
Oh, I see.
You know, I didn't know anybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody in my life was fucked the fuck up. Right.
You're 23.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't know anybody. Mm-hmm. I didn't know shit about shit. Yeah. I just knew that I needed to figure out how to live my life because I knew that it's possible. You know, the first 18 years of my life, I was manageable and I was fine. Right. And I know that it's possible. I just don't know how to anymore.
Yeah. To get yourself out of that rut.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know what to do. Yeah. The only thing I knew to do was to put drugs into my body. Yeah. It's literally all I knew. Right. And it's the only thing I wanted to do. Right. But it's just like I knew something needed to change and I didn't know what it was. Mm-hmm. So he called his old buddy and he was like, hey, I've got Bean here. Yeah, I'm still sober. He's got a fireball handle in one hand. He's got his plate of blow on. And he's just, oh my God. I'm like, I wonder how this is going to go. And so I'm talking to his friend on the phone. Yeah. And his friend connects me with intake at San Diego Detox.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Huh. And they're like, we got a bed right now. You can come right now. I'm like, I need to call my parents.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to at least let them know that I'm about to eat up like hundreds of thousands of dollars from insurance by going to
yeah, that is kind of,
you know, like,
well, at least it's nice for you to let them know. What the fuck is this bill from?
yeah. And so I was just like, I just can't. I need to call mom and dad.
Yeah.
And so I think my sister called them first to like warn them because my parents they are a lot better than what they used to be, but they can be very judgmental.
For sure.
You know?
For sure.
They can be, because, you know, they have their way of life and all they know. And they're a lot more, over the past 10 years, like every year they get more open-minded and more accepting of everybody around them. Like, they are not the parents that raised me. and then, like, even so, they're not the parents that raised my sister.
Yeah.
You know, like, they are completely, that my parents have evolved so much.
Yeah. And I think that goes with, I think, most parents.
Yeah. So we called them and I just like started crying and I couldn't even get the words out. And my mom was like, if I was there, I would drive you to rehab myself.
Wow.
She works at she worked for like, I don't know, like 20 years, 23 years at dental private practice.
Okay.
And the dentist, he was a drug addict.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so she's been exposed to addiction and recovery.
Wow, no shit.
The guy's got, I don't know. She's gonna listen to this. I don't know, Mom. Correct me when I'm wrong. Like 30 years or whatever.
We're sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Shout out Dr. Bloomstein.
Yeah, that's right.
And but like he's relapsed and like so she knows what to do and she knows where to take people and she knows who to call. Like she knows all about sponsorship and she knows what goes on in NA and AA. Like my mom knows.
That's crazy.
And I don't. I didn't.
You didn't know that she knew.
Like I knew that he was like I knew that he used to be fucked up and now he's not.
That's right.
That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And so like the next day I'm like starting to pack my shit. I'm like, I need to get all my stuff into a storage unit and then I can go to rehab.
Okay.
I couldn't even do that.
Oh man.
I couldn't even do that. My brain was just so fried. My body was fried.
Right.
I made one snarky remark at my sister and she just like broke down, called my mom, and she took me to rehab.
No shit.
And she packed up the rest of my stuff and put it into a storage unit.
Wow.
Yeah, she's like, you need to leave now.
Wow.
And I was scared out of my goddamn mind. And I was just so defeated.
Yeah.
Defeated.
Yeah.
And, you know, those last 4 days, it was like I admitted I needed help, right? And I didn't know what to do. That was the last day I did a line.
Oh shit.
Because I couldn't. I just I wanted it, but I couldn't bring myself to put it into my body. And then the next day, I had a glass of wine. I had like 2 sips, and I'm like, this is just not even doing it for me. Like I couldn't even finish that.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I needed to eat, right?
Yeah.
And I tried to eat. I couldn't, so I smoked some weed. I took, I took one hit, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I was in detox.
Oh shit.
And it took me like 2 days to catch up on my sleep, and the people there were so welcoming and so loving and so tolerant and compassionate.
Right.
And, I would just sit out in the front and just like smoke my cigarettes.
Right.
And the second day I met with my case manager and she had Just for Today on her desk. And I flipped to a random page.
Yeah.
Couldn't even tell you what day it was or what it said, but that page is what I needed to read in that moment. That made me feel like things were going to be okay. And then I was in the right spot.
Yeah.
And then I was going to be okay no matter what.
Yeah.
And and that was it. I caught up on my sleep and I went to the first group. It was a process group.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I raised my hand to go first.
Oh no shit! Right off the bat.
I was in it right away. I caught up on my sleep. And I was like, all right, well, if I'm here.
Yeah. Right.
I'm here, so let me do the damn thing.
Right.
Because who knows if I'm ever gonna come back here?
Right.
If people are always like, we don't want to see you come back here. Like in like a good way.
Right.
And it's like I might as well just take advantage of where I'm at.
Right.
And so I just like let it out.
Uh-huh.
And I started processing, and like I learned all about addiction and like all these things and what I use, and I got to have like all these tools.
Mm-hmm.
And then they they talked about sponsorship, and like we went to meetings and we went to AA, we went to NA, and I was just like I was fired up.
Mm-hmm.
I was fired up. And I don't know. It's just something in me was like, this is my life now. And like the moment I would think about anything more than today, my mind would just go crazy, and it still does.
Yeah,
I'm a freaking addict. My brain will go to the extreme.
Yeah.
So, I would think like, how am I gonna? My brain. When my grandma dies and I go to her funeral, how am I not going to take a shot with everybody else? How am I going to get through that?
Wow.
I'm like 7 days
so
sober.
Disrespectful to the culture. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, and it's like they sent me after the first 30 days. I went to Soledad.
Oh, okay.
The women's recovery program. I did 90 days there, and people were always asking me, even in detox, like, are you here for 7 days? Are you here for 30 days? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All I know is that what I've been doing isn't working.
Yeah. Right.
Like, I didn't even know that I wanted to be clean.
Right.
I just knew that I couldn't live the way that I was living, and I didn't know that being clean was the answer.
It takes a while sometimes.
Yeah.
For it to sink in.
Yeah, and so, but I'm really grateful to be like to have been in such. I stayed in treatment as long as I could.
Yeah.
And that's what they told me to do. For the first time in my life, I started taking suggestions. For the first time in my life, I started following direction.
Nice.
And listening to the rules.
Oh, what rules?
Yeah. Like I needed somebody to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I needed that because I couldn't tell myself what to do anymore.
Right.
One, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
And two, when I was telling myself what to do, it was always the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It landed me in rehab.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's very true.
It landed me in rehab. So when I got to Soledad, I did 90 days. Yeah. I got a sponsor.
Nice.
I got another sponsor.
Oh, okay.
And another sponsor.
And another one after that. Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? Maybe it's a me problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I kept hearing, the whole thing about a sponsor is that it's a person to get you through the steps.
Right.
And you hear in meetings all the time that the steps are the answer.
Yeah,
the steps are going to tell you what to do.
Yeah, the steps, yeah.
Like it is a design for living.
Yeah.
And
you have to do it.
Suggestions are just silent demands.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told.
They are passive aggressive a little bit.
Yeah. And so my sponsor, I asked my sponsor that I have now, I've had her since I was 4 months sober.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I actually asked her to be my sponsor when I was maybe like a week. I was still in detox. I met her at a meeting. I was like, I'm still in detox. I don't have a phone. Like, will you sponsor me? She gave me her phone number. I never called her. Never called her.
Yeah,
and
that happens too.
Yeah. And then like I hear her lead at a meeting and I was like, so are you still taking on sponsees?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember me. I said I was going to call you, but I didn't. She's like, are you going to call me?
Oh.
She's like, well, if you're gonna call me, then I'll sponsor you.
Okay.
And so I called her like a couple hours after that meeting.
Yeah.
And that was it. I wholeheartedly I did the steps, and we worked out of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
But like any time I heard, I still didn't think alcohol was my problem, right?
Sure.
I went to rehab because I couldn't stop doing cocaine.
Right. Cocaine's
And
the problem.
I couldn't live without the cocaine. I needed to figure out how to live without the cocaine.
Right.
That was the problem.
That's the problem.
And,
right.
And like from working the steps and objectively looking at my life, it does not matter what the substance is.
Oh, no. What?
What a concept.
Oh, my God.
I have a me problem.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You know?
It's you?
You know? It's me.
Yeah.
It's not you, it's me. You know?
Oh, shit.
It's me that couldn't sit in my own skin.
Right.
It's me that put me into all these situations to get what I wanted.
Right.
It was always me.
Mm-hmm.
All about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to figure that out.
Yeah.
Honestly, no amount of therapy, and like people can fight me on this.
Yeah.
No amount of therapy could have gotten me to where I am today if I didn't do the steps.
I see.
You know, the steps brought the first 3 steps are getting in touch with a higher power. Right? I can't do it. Step 1. Step 2. There could be something out there that can't help me do it. Yeah. Step 3. I let it.
Right.
I make a decision and I let it, and that's where I find a higher power.
Yes.
Step 1, 2, 3 all day long, and it doesn't just like coincide with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
absolutely not.
Everything.
It's an everything factor.
Everything. Yeah. Steps 4, 5, 6. I get in touch with myself. Right. I make a fearless moral inventory.
Yeah.
Talk about it with another person.
Right.
You know, I thought I knew all the answers.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
I put myself into all these situations, and I put myself into all of these relationships. Like, I know I did it. So, like, why do I need to, like, put it down on paper?
Yeah, right.
Why do I need to do this whole 4-column bullshit?
Right.
But it wasn't even the point. I had a roommate in sober living tell me, she's like, do it anyway. You don't want to, do it anyway.
Yeah.
And so I did. And so and then I find out all of these character defects of mine.
Oh,
you know,
that's always
I am
fun.
very self-centered.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am heavily insecure.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very codependent,
Yeah.
and I have a really big fear of being alone.
Yeah.
I have a really big fear of not being included.
Right.
You know, this is just like one of my top fears.
Yeah.
If it's not love-based, it's fear-based.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I did everything out of fear.
Right.
And so that got me in touch with myself.
I see.
7, 8, 9 gets me in touch with other people.
Yeah.
You know, I come back out of hiding, you know, make my list of amends, and I make amends with people. And all the people, you know, I made amends with this ex-boyfriend.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, I mean, now
Always.
he's blocked, but...
Good. Sometimes it'd be like that.
You know, I recommend making amends with an ex. I don't always recommend sleeping with them when making amends.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's just one last time.
Yeah.
Just one more.
One last hurrah.
Just one more, right?
Yeah,
It is
yes.
an addiction.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
straight up an addiction. Just
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah. Always so much fun.
Yeah, and then you know, I flew home to make amends with my parents.
Oh, okay.
And a couple of family members my best friends over there.
Yeah.
And my sister out here, I made amends with my sister, and it's like everything. The one common thing that every single person that I made amends to told me was to just love myself.
Yeah. Right.
And to just take care of myself.
Right.
Like, that's the only thing that I can do for them.
Right.
Is to just take care of myself.
Yeah.
I never knew how to do that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Can I do something else?
Ever. I never knew how to love. I mean, like, I didn't know how to love myself after I crossed the line.
Yeah.
I knew. I mean, martial arts taught me that.
Right.
You know, and like the Jewish community taught me that. You know, I learned how to I learned discipline and self-love and
Right.
community and
Yes.
connection. You know,
Yes.
I you know, those are like my fundamental core values
Right.
that I lost along the way.
Yeah.
And I can never be who I once was,
Mm.
but I can be a better me today.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
I can create a better version every single day and work at myself every single day. And steps 10, 11, 12 helps me maintain it. Step
Right.
10 helps me maintain 1, 2, 3.
Maintenance.
Step 11 maintains 4, 5, 6.
Mhm.
Step 12 maintains my connection with other people. 8, 7, 8, 9. And so, I mean, I continuously work the steps. It's not like you work the steps and then you're done.
Oh, you don't graduate?
Apparently not.
Oh, man, what a motherfucker.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
I started working with other people, and then
Yeah.
like I started doing the steps again, and then
Yeah.
I see how I can like put it into like every single day use in my life.
Mhm.
I started working again, and then it's like the
Nice.
people that I worked with. I worked at a rave store.
You worked at a rave store?
I did. I mean, the store's not open anymore, but the business shut down. But I worked at a rave store.
What do they sell at a rave store? Just like,
Clothing.
oh, like
Yeah, if
those
you wanna go,
outfits they wear?
Yeah. And
I
like
see.
shoes and glitter and
Okay.
pasties.
Okay,
and-
okay, I got you. Glow sticks. Lots of glow sticks.
Yeah. Actually, I used to work at music festivals too, but I got fired because I was a liability.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Walking liability over here.
Uh-oh.
I tested the drugs by doing them.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
and if I didn't drop dead, then you're good. You could do it too.
Yeah. How kind of you to
Yeah,
offer your
yeah.
services.
Yeah. But I stayed in, so I did Solo Dad for 90 days. I
Yeah.
did their aftercare for 6 months.
Nice.
And then there's a new program that opened up and I got called to be their house manager.
Oh, cool.
And so I house managed
Oh, wow.
for PBH for Pacific Beach Health.
Oh, cool.
Great program. It's a dual diagnosis program. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
primary mental health,
I see.
but they also do like substance abuse.
Mhm.
And so, man, I learned a lot about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how
Absolutely.
I handle other people in situations, and it was a lot.
Mhm.
You know, how to learn how to take care of myself and my recovery, while also managing a house of 9 people
Yeah.
with all different kinds of
Mhm.
mental
Yes.
health
yes.
issues. Yeah, so
I got you. I
it
got
was
you.
a lot. It was a lot, but like I knew that if I put my recovery first, I knew that if I put my higher power first, I would be fine.
Mm.
I knew that as long as I didn't pick something up, I would be fine. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
You know, I am very naive, but I feel like it's an advantage in the rooms.
Mhm.
And because like when people say, "Oh, it gets worse
Mhm.
if you go back out, it never gets better," like I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. And like the
Right.
way it got bad enough for me, like, no, I may have like not had the shakes. I may have not gotten a DUI.
Sure.
I may have not
Sure.
used needles.
Right.
But you know what? It got bad enough for me to want to change.
Mm.
And I'm grateful for your experience
Yeah.
to tell me that it doesn't have to get worse for me.
Absolutely.
You know? That's
Absolutely.
why I love going to meetings, because I'm reminded of how bad it can get,
Right.
how bad it was,
Yeah.
and how good it can be.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
And you know, it's like when I went to my first AA meeting or my first NA meeting or my first CA meeting, you know, like those people didn't know that I was going to show up,
No.
but they were there.
Right.
And so I also keep coming back because I never know who's going to show up,
Right.
and they're going to need somebody to be there.
Right.
You know, I have my home group is a women's meeting on Tuesday nights. It's like a
Oh.
small, there's like 5 of us that are
Right,
like
right.
staple members,
Right.
and
Right.
it could be just the 5 of us, or there could be like 20 people there.
Sure. Yeah.
You never know
You
who's
never
going to
know.
show up, but I
Yeah.
go every single Tuesday and I make
Oh,
the
nice.
coffee and I bring the snacks, and you just never know who's going to walk in. You never know
Yeah.
who's going to be there absolutely as defeated as I was,
Right.
seeking help.
Right.
And you know, I found a solution, and as long as I stay in today,
Yeah.
I'm good today.
Mm.
You know, my brain is freaking whack.
Hey.
And it's something that I have to tame on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I don't like, I'm grateful to wake up sober and clean and like not need, I mean, actually I can't say that, not need something, because like I'll wake up and like I'll slug a cup of coffee, you know, and like I'll get resentful at a cup of, I'll get like feel resentful at a cup of coffee because it doesn't get the job as done as quick as
cocaine.
like, oh yeah, you know, I'm used to waking up on 150, and then like going up to 250, so I'm like, why isn't the coffee working? So, but it's like I get to honor the process of being human. You know, I came in here as a human, I will leave as a human.
Yes.
And anything that gets in my way of that, whether it be drugs, sex, alcohol, men, you know, like, I don't really feel like giving that up. And all I have to do is just think about today.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, people always told me, well, when I came into the rooms, they always said, like, you don't have to use if you don't have to ever use ever again.
Right.
And in my head, I was like, well, that's a bunch of bullshit. I want to use.
Right.
Right. No, yeah, I don't have to.
Right. Yeah, of course.
But like, what if I want to?
Right.
And so in my head, I'm just like, my obsession's been lifted. Like, I don't obsess about it. It's like a fleeting thought sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I may want to get high. Like, yeah, maybe I want to like sift up a line. But like, I don't have to.
Absolutely.
It makes sense to me now.
Oh, it does.
You know, it like didn't make sense to me 2 years ago.
Right.
At all.
Right.
And I don't have to do anything I don't want to that will hurt me. You know, I take opposite action today.
I see.
And, you know, I'm okay just sitting here. You know, like, I got an apartment with my best friend, which I thought was absolutely, which I thought was absolutely impossible.
Right.
Absolutely impossible. You know, I fucked up my credit score. You know, like,
trust me, I've been there.
I'm like, how I like it just like seems so far out of reach.
Right. Fuck yeah.
I got an apartment.
Hell yeah.
I got my license back.
Damn, that's right.
And I have a car that I drive.
Right.
You know? And it's just like I'm grateful. I can just like sit in the living room and just like stare at the ceiling and just be grateful.
Yeah. Right. I feel you on that one.
If I'm not grateful, I'm gonna lose it all.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. A grateful addict doesn't relapse.
That's what it is.
That's what they say.
Yeah, it's just gratitude is my answer for everything.
Fuck yeah. Well, I just one question before we wrap this up. When is your sobriety date?
December 23rd, 2023.
Yeah, here.
Wait.
Oh, wrong one?
2022.
Whoa, you just fronted yourself.
Oh my God. December 23rd, 2022.
You gave yourself. Well, you just you took away a year from yourself.
I did. It's just easier for me to say 23.
23.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, huh?
Yeah, it was December 23rd, 2022. I was 23. It's like 12, 23, 22.
There it is. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, fuck yeah. Thank you so much for coming on here again.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is so much fun. You're a really wonderful person, and I really appreciate you taking your time coming down here.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
This is the Fuck Fentanyl guy letting you know if you or a loved one is injured in a motorcycle accident, then call 1-800-Lawtigers for a free case evaluation. We are available 24/7. That's 1-800-Lawtigers. With over $1.5 billion recovered in verdicts and settlements. Nobody got your back more than Lawtigers.